Hi guys, welcome on back. All right, you remember a month ago or so we did these candy wrapper charms, and they just blew up my YouTube channel too. All right, so I had one of my viewers, Kathleen, emailed me and asked me if I could show how to do these the old-fashioned way. You know, just in case maybe you can't get a hold of these little baggies, or you say you don't have the money to buy the little baggies, you know, you might have the other stuff, the vinyl laying around the house. So I said, of course I will. So that's what we're going to do today. Instead of using this bag, which is really quick and easy, I will show how we made them back in the day. Now I'm going to show two different ways, because one of the ways I did the first time I made mine, because I'll explain why as we go along. First of all, you need vinyl, any kind of vinyl. This is vinyl that you use for like tablecloths, whatever, cover furniture, windows, whatever. This is a 20 gauge. I got this on clearance at Hobby Lobby in their clearance section. It must have been all that was left on the roll or whatever. So I just picked that up, not knowing I would need it. I thought I might need it for a project down the line, but sooner than be, but that's okay. So we're going to use this. You do not need to use a 20 gauge. You use something thinner, whatever you have on hand. You can also use what I used back in the day, is a clear shower curtain, clear vinyl tablecloth, whatever you can find. That's vinyl. You just use that, okay? So you don't have to use that. Now it's very easy. So let me get this out. Now you want to make yourself a template. And I'm just going to kind of tell you a little bit on how you know what size. Pretend I have this kind of cut. What size you need. So basically what you're going to do is throw down the charms you want. Throw down the charms you want. And then you would double it and add on a 1/4 inch. And then figure out, you got to leave like a good 1/2 inch along the top and along the bottom. Here's Jeannie's thought. Jean makes one size everything. I don't play around that way. I'm not going to make a different size for everything. So the size I used back in the day, which I'm pretty sure is pretty close to this, is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. That's the size I make. That's going to be bigger than this. Well, not much. I think it's a little wider than this. This is actually a little taller. But this is the size I made mine back in the day. One size. If I can't find things that fit in there, too bad. And I really wasn't a lot of cabochons. It was more stickers, and there was some cabochons that I put in, but I did put stickers in and stuff like that. But okay, let's move on. Enough of that. So I already have mine cut. It's very easy to cut out. Just make yourself a template, lay it on the plastic, and cut around it, okay? That's very easy to do. I have one cut here. I have a couple cut because I'm going to show you two different ways. Okay. So back in the day, like a lot of people use the flat iron. Of course, I didn't have a flat iron, okay? Or you could use the fuse tool, which I didn't have until a few years back. Back when I had nothing. Jean's a cheapskate. Jean isn't going to go out and buy all this stuff that I might only use one time. And you know how it is, crafters. Sometimes you get bored of a craft and you don't do it anymore. Or you don't like it. Like, let's say Jean doesn't like needlepoint. So we don't do cross stitch anymore because we don't like it. Okay, so Jean figured out something else back then, and I don't know if it's been done or not, is use this. I think we called it red line tape back in the day. I don't know. You guys will tell me. You just need an extra strength double-sided tape. I can't speak. Double-sided tape. I get this from Hobby Lobby. Works very, very well. It'll adhere very, very well. Put that off this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a strip of tape right along this edge. And then we'll be turning it over to seal it. Just like that, okay? And that's how we will seal both ours. Both of these will get sealed the same way. So I'm just going to lay this here, and I'm going to run my little piece of tape right along the bottom there. No, it's hard to see clear, So right to the edge, just take it right onto the edge of this, and then you can cut it off. I like that it has the red backing anyway, so you guys can kind of see it. So we're just going to put it right along the edge, okay? Just like that. Now, here's the part that I differ from using one of these. And we will show you that in a second. So now we would take this, we're not going to do it yet, and we would fold this over and secure it right to the edge of the other half and make a tube. Well, then we would go and we would take our little thing, now I'm not going to do it because I have that paper here, and seal the top and bottom. But Jean didn't have that stuff, right? So we're going to put a piece of tape right through the middle. You don't need to go all the way across. You can if you want to make it a little extra secure, but it's, you know, you're going to be meeting these two pieces. So you can do top and bottom, just right about in the middle, because you're going to be taking and sealing this over, so you don't need to waste tape. Okay, so we got that side, and then we're going to do this bottom side, which don't worry if you cut your plastic crooked, because it looks like mine might be cut just a little bit crooked, because you're covering most of that up anyways. And then we're going to put another piece right on the bottom. So now it's going to look like this. Okay, so you got piece there, and piece there. So let's take this piece here, and we are going to take the little thing off, and then we're going to pull this over. We're just going to bring it over about halfway, and then we're going to meet this, and we're going to take this and put it right overlap to the edge. So the end of this piece of tape here is coming to the end of here. And this is 1/4 inch, I believe. Let me see so I can tell you guys. I think it's like, yeah, 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is all you need. Don't go in anything bigger. You don't need that anything bigger than a 1/4 of an inch. So it's going to get right to the edge and get it as straight as you can. And I can't see. Yep, I got it right there. And now you have a little tube. Okay. So now I'm going to secure one of the ends. So you can do top or bottom, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to secure my end right now. So we're going to go in there and take off that and make sure this is down the middle of your back. And then we're going to just pinch it together just like that. And this tape holds really, really well. Okay, now this is the back. Flip it over, we want the front. Now we're going to put our little cuties in there. And here, we'll take this because you might need to position it. Like I said, we're going to do an ice cream one. So I have a few ice cream pieces here. I think we're going to put, what do we want? That one, not the yellow. I think we'll stay with the blues and stuff. So we're just going to put these in here. This one I'm not going to put like a sequence mix or anything. I want you guys to see how, before we do that, why don't we seal the bottom with our washi tape right away too, so that it is done and then we don't have to worry about it. Why don't we do that too right away? So what I do with the washi tape, and then we'll put that in. Then I know where they go. You're going to put the washi tape so it covers up your tape there. So I'm going to take it. Now I always take more than I need, but I like to make sure I have enough. And then I'm going to lay it down, because sometimes Jeannie doesn't cut enough, like that. Come on, get off of there. All right, so what I want to do is put this and make sure I've got the middle at the front this time. And then I'm just going to put it so I'm covering up the tape pretty much. And you can see about halfway. I'm going about halfway. And this washi is, and you can see my next washi is going to be a lot wider than this. This washi is about 5/8. Okay, so you can see how much where it's at. Then I'm going to take and bring this along the back and match up along the bottom. Squeeze the top, and Jean did not have enough. So Jean's going to have to take a little piece and go over. See, and I usually am better at going more than I need. I'm going to cut it so it's straight. But if you don't see, you know, I just like to show you mistakes. It's not the first time Jean makes mistakes, right? And then just cover that up, and then you can't even tell what Jean did wrong. Okay. And then this is my front. Now I'm going to take I'm using pinking shears, and because these sewing, I do have some of those decorative scissors, but some of them aren't very good. They're not very sharp. So I like to stick with my pinking shears. Okay, and then you can feel where your end is. Don't cut all the way down to the end. So I'm just going to be cutting a little bit off the top. And I can see where my thing is, so I'm going to go as straight as I can. And voila, just like that. And there's your end. Now, if you have a washi tape that's not very sticky and you see that this comes apart, just throw a little glue in there. But this, I will be linking all the stuff I can. It is pretty darn sticky. I haven't had a problem with any of them coming apart yet. As you can see, these are the ones I did about a month ago, and they're sealed nicely. But just run a little glue, because I have washi tape in my stash that's pretty old, and you know. Okay, make sure your seal is in the back. And then we are going to, let's put in the ice cream cone first. Use your finger or the pokey tool. And like I said, I'm not going to do no sequin mix in this one. I want you to see what it looks like without. I think we like the one with the rainbow and everything on. And we're going to put that one down in there a little bit. And some people used to put like a glue dot on the back so that they stay. Once you seal this down, they stay in there quite well. So I don't usually do that. And then I'm going to put this one right here. And I don't care if they go crooked. I don't care, you know, if they move around. I don't care. But now I just messed it more. I'm trying to get the bottom down a little bit. And then we'll put this one in. And make sure you're far enough, it'll seal. So once you seal it, they don't move around. They stay in there quite nicely. Now you could put some sequins mix at this point if you want before you seal it. I'm not going to on this one. I want you guys to see what one looks like without the sequins in. The next you know, I've done it on these ones. I put different mixes in these ones. Now we're going to grab a hold of, I'm going to just kind of hold on to it and grab in there that piece of tape. That red line sticks to you. And then make sure everything is kind of where you want it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, crafting is not a perfect. Okay, and we're going to just pinch it together again, just like that. Okay, see how it's easy enough. I like the red line tape. I did for years. I actually never did buy one of these. I bought this for you guys, so you can see $7 on Amazon. I'll link it. I bought that for you guys. The tape works just as well, doesn't it? Okay, now Jeannie's going to get more than enough washi tape this time. Same thing. I want to flip it. I want the good stuff to the front. And I'm going to put it just so I can see that tape is covered on the bottom down there. Okay, just like that. It's about halfway. And now I'm going to have too much, so let's cut a little bit off. We're going to bring that over, and we line up our tops and bottoms best you can. And then we're going to bring this one over, and we're going to cut off just a little bit too. The joys of the scissors sticking to everything. Okay, and then we are going to bring that over and line that up. And you have that. You can't even see the seam on the back. Okay, there's the back side. And like I said, if you don't like the back like that, this, you know, like same with this one, that's when I put the paper in this inside if you want. Okay. All right, just gonna push that up there. All right, let me get this off there because I'll need this again. All right, now let's put on our jump rings and all that stuff. If I can get all this tape off of me. All right, we're gonna go with just a white one on this one. I didn't have like a pink. And then we'll use the white 1/8 inch eyelet. I am using 1/8 because you don't need a big hole in this. So on this one, I'm using the 1/8. I didn't have any 1/8 when I did these other ones. So I had to use, I believe it's a 3/8. But I prefer using the 1/8 because you don't need a big, giant little hole. Now, food for thought. Oh, I forgot to cut the top. You guys are probably like, Jean, cut the top. Jean just got done mowing the lawn, so we're not even in the crafty zone head yet. Okay, now, a food for thought here. If you plan on selling these, this will be the first time. I used to just give them away, you know. This will be the first time I'll be selling them. I know people yell at me at my prices all the time, but I like to keep my things as cheap as possible for that everybody can afford it. So I was going to go about $3 for these. I have seen people try to sell them for up to $17. I know that this cost me maybe 50 cents to make. It does not cost very much. I want little kids to come and be able to buy it if they want to buy it. So $3 I think is more than fair price for it. But here's the thing. You want to kind of keep them even. So like, you don't want to put one charm on this one and 3 down your next one. That's going to change your prices on everything. Try to keep your things consistent. Put the same amount of charms, you know, stuff like that. So that, and I don't usually use metal charms that often, you know, unless I have to. But I've been getting them off Temu. You know that Temu, you can get things pretty cheap, so it doesn't really matter. But I try to keep things consistently priced so I don't have to worry about like, ooh, this one's got 3 on. I want this one. Why is this only $3? And, you know. Okay, so let's punch a hole in it again. And you can punch it out whatever size you want. I am using my 1/8. Okay, and I am just going to turn it where I can see it. And I am just going to punch a hole right up about there. And that's my Crop-a-dile. I will link it for you guys. All right, so there we got that. We'll put in our eyelet. And then bring this back. And then we set it to this setting. And then we set it in here. And because it's such a small, I make sure it's on there good and hold it down. And then, oops, now I moved it because my thumb was in the way. Because sometimes it'll slide off of that. With the smaller ones, it's not a very big lip thing, whatever they call that. And give it a good old push, and make sure it's not sharp on the back. There you go. So I have that on like that. And then we'll grab my jump ring and just realize I didn't bring my tools down, but I really don't need it with this one. Let's put on this ice cream cone. Look at this ice cream cone. Let's put this ice cream on. It might be a little too big, but we're going to go with it. It's not too bad. Okay, and then put this on. Let's see, this way maybe. I got to try and think how it's going to lay. Because I want that ice cream cone in the front. And we're just going to hook it the best we can until I can go get my little tool. There we go. And get it to lay. And there you have one. Okay, and that's just using the vinyl with the tape. Now I'll show you the way that most people use it with some kind of fusing tool, which Jean says no. All right, pretty much same process. We got another one here. Make sure there's nothing on it. And we are going to put our tape down this end first so we can seal it. Okay. Gotta get back up a little bit. I'm on that line and I can't see my... Working with clear. Anything clear, you know. Okay. Now we're going to bring this over again. Same way we did the other one. Okay, I'm going to bring it this way. And we are just going to seal it down. Okay. Okay, now we are gonna seal our bottom first. To do that, now like I said, you can use, I'll be using this flat iron, and we're gonna pinch the top, and then take a piece of printer taper. Now printer tape. Oh my gosh. And it doesn't really matter the size. This is 1.5 by about 1 3/4. It doesn't really matter. All you need to do is cover the top so your flat iron doesn't touch the vinyl. Okay, so let's put this over, and I put it tight against the vinyl so that I know where exactly where my top is. Okay, because you do not need to seal this big of a section. I'm only going to be sealing right along the top edge. Okay, make sure it's down. And now I know I've practiced with this. And take a scrap piece of vinyl and practice so you know how long you have to hold it on. About 25 seconds for me. I've had this on this whole time, so it should be hot enough. Now I'm only going to go about halfway. You don't need to go, like I said, you don't need to go all the way. And I find that adding a little pressure, if it gets too hot, use something. So add a little pressure. This isn't like, you know, the best. Get the mini ones. You don't want too wide of a thing. You can use that. No, I'm not counting, so I better count. I mean, you know, Jean can't talk and count at the same time. I could be looking at my clock on my computer, my countdown here. Okay, so I'm going to take it off and show you, see if it's done. You'll be able to tell if it's hot enough. Oh, I can see. See how it turned frosted? So we're good. Do not try pulling it apart at this point. It's still a little soft. It's not totally hard yet, so don't try pulling it apart. Okay, now let's put on our washi. We're doing a ocean theme one this time. I have that we're going to use. I have that we're going to use. And we're going to use the starfish. So we got a shell. So I got, this is the closest to, I'm going to be using kind of this section, washi tape that I could find. So we're going to be using this. So we're going to use, see how much wider this is, but we're not going to be using all of that. We're going to be cutting a lot away. I kind of just wanted water and bubbles. This is 1 inch. And I didn't have anything really blue that would work. I was looking for something that would work and I didn't really have it. Okay, so let's seal this and make sure we got the right way on. So let's seal this end again like we did on the other one. Let's see, right about here. And the same thing about you doing about 1/4 inch. So since I didn't seal 1/4 inch, I'm guessing there. So, and then same thing, wrap it over and seal it. And I don't need all that. So let's cut some of it down. All right, bring that over, seal it. And I got the shell on the front, but we're going to end up losing part of the shell anyway, so. All right, and there is my thing. I'm going to be cutting about half of this off. I don't need a real lot on the end there. I just need enough to, I'm going to go right about here. And again, hope I got it straight. Might be a little crooked, but it could be my eyes too. All right, so now we're at this point, okay? So again, we're going to add in our goodies, and we want the bad side to seal in the back. And we're going to throw in our stuff. Let's put this guy down first. Put him down in there. And we'll put the shell down in on that side a little bit. And then let's get a fish up here. Okay, I'm going to hold this up. Put the fish over here a little bit. Now, this one we are going to put in. I'm going to take this out, actually, the fish, until we do put the bubbles in. I have these clear little sequin. Well, they're not sequins. They're like beads. They're not a bead, though. They're just, you know, like a round little something. There's a name for them. I know there is. But they look like bubbles. So we're going to put some of these in here. Just put in as much as you want. Let me kind of shake it and spill them all over the place. Okay, now let's put our fish back in. Try to get him so he's swimming the right way. That's not it. Push the shell down a little bit and pinch. So now we have that. And now we have some movement. I don't care that things fall down. You know, they're going to shake and stuff on some of them. And that's okay with me. Okay, now same thing. Now we're going to seal this top edge again. Where's my paper go? Anyone see it? Okay, this time we'll watch my little clock there. Get it all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Okay, move that so I don't spill it. Okay, get this over here. All right, here goes. I'm gonna seal it. See where I have it. And I'm squeezing it so nice and tight so that I'm watching my clock this time on my computer, so you know I can talk now. So we're just gonna hold that on there for about 25 seconds. Like I said, if it's not frosted on the end, when you take it off, just hold it on, put it back on and hold it on some more. Okay. And I'm a little bit over on this side. So let's turn it this way now. And that might be because of our seam. Might be like big. And I didn't hold this side because it's getting a little hot. So I didn't really hold, I don't have my other thing. If I would have brought my thing down here, that I could have held on to that side, it might have been helpful. But we'll get through it. Let's see if we got it. Oh, it looks like it's good. Okay, all nice and frosted. Move that out of my way. Same thing, we're gonna get our little fishy back there. And we're gonna take off another chunk. Hold it down, flip it over. I'm gonna try to get those bubbles to stay down while I'm putting that on. Just so they don't like get caught in the tape up there when I'm pinching everything. Oh, that's gonna be crooked. Line them up good. Okay. Oh, got that one a little crooked. But we don't stress about anything in life. And we're gonna cut off. Okay, and there is our undersea one. And this one's a shaker one. I know it's hardwood to glare, guys. I know. Vinyl. Okay, now same thing. We're going to put in a key thing. So I have this aqua color one. I'm going to link all these too. This keychains that I got. I'll link all them. And I'll link my eyelets. And this one I cannot link at all. And I don't think, a lot of times, like, I don't think you need to put anything on the back. You know, like this one here is pretty full, you know, and if you flip it over, you know, it's good. So that's up to you if you want to, you know, put something on the back. I like it. Looks like water anyways, right? This one I can link. This one I can't link anymore. So I'll link what I can. All right, where is my crocodile? Go punch the hole in. And there we go. Let me turn off. Did I turn this off? Turn that off. It's really hot. Okay, and we need, what do we got? Oh, let's put him on. A little seahorse we're going to put on. And again, because I forgot my little jewelry tools. You know, I only have like a dozen. Where is the opening? I swear it's sealed shut. Oh my goodness, I swear this one is sealed shut. I can't find an opening. There it is. Ooh, that one was. All right, put this on. Put on the seahorse. Put on the key ring. And voila. Close it up. And I'll go back and fix those when I go upstairs and get my jewelry tools. But for now, it's good. There you have that one. So that is how we did them back in the day. I don't know if anyone did it with the tape, but you know, if you know Jean, if you watch her channel enough, she tries to come up with easy ways. So you can do it if you have a little vinyl, get a shower curtain, tablecloth, just a clear vinyl, tape, and a couple little charms. You can do this, okay? Here, one step further, you use the tool, and you know, like the flat iron. Like I said, this is only $6.99. It was. So you can get them that cheap, get the mini one, get cheap one. It works just as well. And you have that. And if you want to buy the bags, you have that. I think when you're using these, like, you know, you can see like the difference in them. They're a little bit more puffed up. And a lot depends on the thickness of vinyl that you're using. You know, like I said, this is a 20 mil vinyl that I'm using. So that makes a difference too. So there is 3 different ways that you can make these cute little candy wrapper charms. You can fill them with anything you want. You can put stickers. You can put paper in the back like we did with this one for color, or if you don't want to see the ugly back. But I think like this looks really cool just like that. Whoop! Because I don't have the jewelry, the hook in there. Because I don't have my jewelry tools down there. It's going to stick. It's going to come off. We will fix that. But I think this one is really, really cute. And the shaker one works well. So there you go. 3 different ways that you can go ahead and make your, whatever your budget is, whatever supplies you have around, you can make it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy this. If you have any more requests, you can do like Kathleen, either email me or write it in any of my in the comments in any of the videos, and I will help you out if I can. And if you have any more comments or suggestions, go for it. You know, I'm open to everything. And again, a big thank you. I'm going to say this all year long. Thank you for 10K. Thank you very much, everyone. All right, guys, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.